Greetings adventurer and welcome back to Let's VTT. Today I will show you a tutorial about checks in the dark eye for FoundryVTT. So stay tuned and let's VTT! So let's start with some basic roles. For example, let's look into resters. Here above you have the 8 attributes which your character have and will roll on if you do the skill checks. You can do a plain attribute check if your GM wants it. So let's say, for example, I will check my courage, and here above is the modifier. You can increase it by left click on it, or decrease it by right click on it. Also you can write a value manually into it. And yes, here the difficulty are some preset modifiers. They are accordingly to the modifier here above, but here it's already preset, so you can use it as an orientation. Is it easy? Very easy. And let's say it's difficult. Here is the roll mode. For each check you have this. It says if you if everyone in the group can see it in the chat window after private GM role, you roll it, and only the you and the GM can see this role. Blind GM role, only the GM can see it, not even you, and the self role is only for you yourself visible. The GM arbitrariness is only available for GMs, of course. He can flip the dice how he likes and see it's necessary. So we will do the plain roll. It's difficult, so let's hope. He rolled 2. He had to roll against 13 because his courage is 15. The penalty of 2 is 13, but he was very brave and succeeded with his courage. Now let's go into the skill checks. The skill checks have their basic group for physical skills or social skills. There are some mentioned dices, but you can't even click on it because you don't know which skill you will roll. So these are only for manual use and not necessary. You can directly check on your skill. It will do automatically, so why the harm? So let's say we'll do a self-control check. Basically this self-control checks this 3 attributes, 2 times courage and 1 time constitution. You can adjust these attributes for this check if you want to, or if the GM requests it, because the situation says so. You need maybe an institution or something like that. And here is again the standard modifier, like the difficulty. You can set the modifier here also manually. These are the modifiers for each and only attribute. You can vary it if you like. Here is the skill rating modifier. It's the skill rate at the time is 8. Maybe you have to increase it for some reasons. And here is the quality level modifier, which quality will modify the quality level after you hit the dice. And again, the preset difficulty and the roll mode. Now we have also the mention here that there is no target available. You, if you do a competitive check, you can also do a target in here, and the system will roll against it, and who has the higher quality level wins this check. Here it is also. Here down below we have the roll. The routine roll is not available for this one because our attributes are not high enough. It's a special rule in the Dark Eye. And again, of course, the GM arbitrariness. But I just want to do a plain roll. I modify it a bit. And as we can see, 2 times the courage was a success, the constitution was a success, so he succeeded with all the 8 skill points and has a quality level of 3. Also, we can see the part of the skill check modifiers, which I modified in the check. And let's move to the next. It's the cumulative check. The cumulative check is on the skill sheet below. You can create a new cumulative check, and let's say preparing a battle. For preparing a battle, you he will use the warfare skill. And here you can preset how much checks are allowed, how much checks he also already have rolled. The interval is only plain text you have as orientation, how long each check will take. Then you can see how many quality levels he have collected. You also can modify this, and how many failed checks he also have, and a modifier per se in this check. Let's say we start with 1 bonus, and by doing this check, Orestes have now do a warfare check. And here we have also preset the failed tests. Each test failed, it will give him a penalty of 1. He can use his specialization, why not? And the modifier from the check I gave. And he does warfare test, and he has a 20, but it's only 1 in the check, and his scale is high enough, so he managed to succeed it and has 2 quality levels gained, 2 of 10. He has now 6 additional checks to succeed the cumulative check. Let's move to the next. The combat sheet. The combat sheet, we have already some weapons equipped here. Only, by the way, you will need this combat sheet only if you attack or parry manually. Usually you use the combat tracker, which I will show in a different tutorial. But if you have to make a manual attack because you are not in the combat or so, you can do it here. The attack check shows us again a plain modifier for the check and damage point modifier here. If you have, for what reasons ever, make more damage or less damage, the roll mode drop down menu. Then we have a visibility drop down menu. It depends on how the light modifier are on the scene. If you play with an with a combat scene and it has light settings, you can activate an effect that it will choose this visibility modifier by its own, adjusting to how the light settings are on this scene, but this in a different tutorial. Then we have some modifiers if you're cramped or attack with the wrong hand or have advanced position and so on. Assassination is also an optional rule which you can activate here. Then the weapon size of the opponent is an issue if he has short, medium or long weapons. Usually if you have a target activated, it will pick or preset this weapon size automatically according to what weapon the enemy has activated, if it is only one. And we have the size category of the creature or the enemy. Everything is 0, only tiny creatures give you a penalty of -4. And here we have some special abilities we can activate if we want to make a one-handed combat and maybe feint. We can roll on it, and you see how it affects my dice. If I activate feint, I will get penalty of -1. So, and here is the warning. I have no target. Usually you need a target if you do attack, but no matter, I will do an attack, and yes, it is a 19. I did fail this one. The same if you have the parry. Again, the usual modifiers, and here in addition is the defense, number of defenses. If it's your first defense, you leave it like this. If you already did a defense in this round, and this is your second, you have to yes, it goes like this, not this way around. You have to make yes. You also had a defense, then you say 1, and it will decrease by 3. Your parry is 8, but it will decrease by 3 to 5. And also, if you are attacked from behind, it will decrease your parry, and so on. So let's say it's his first, and oh, he already it is a botch, and it already dices automatically what botch you have. It's confirmed botch. You are injured, self-damage, and you get 4 damage. Sadly, you can't apply it automatically from the chat, so you have to lower the life points here manually. And the same with the damage points. You can make a separate damage point check, which is not necessarily if you attack. Let's see, I will him to succeed. If I do an attack check, it will roll the damage points automatically with the attack, if it's a success. So you don't usually have to roll the damage points separately. But who knows, if you have to, there's a modifier, there is a public roll, the roll mode, and you can roll the damage. I rolled 1 plus 4 is 5. The same with the crossbow. Here I have some other modifiers. We have automatically activated or preset the defense malus of -4. Don't get confused, this is not for the attacker, this is the defense malus for the target. It will automatically have his defense decrease by 4. if you have this active. And again, some modifications which are for the range weapons and so on. And here again, roll. I succeeded and automatically did the damage. Below that, we have some the attack and parry for different weapon combat techniques. If the GM requests an impact weapon attack and you don't have it in your equipment, you can also roll here in this window, which will have fewer modifiers available, but for a quick manual roll it is good enough. And yeah, let's move to the next. The next is magic checks, spell checks or ritual checks. We go into Alakaya for this, and she has some spells ready. Let's say we will do a Fulminictus. The Fulminictus goes onto the 3 attributes as well. It's like a skill check. It looks almost like a skill check. Except this, yes, there is a preset defense malus. This doesn't occur to the Fulminictus. The Fulminictus is not defensible against non-magic use. You only can use anti-magic to defenses, but this is not available. In Ignifaxius is, but this not. Then we have some modifiers which are used for spells. Usually if it goes against the toughness, there is a preset value in it if you have a target active. And yeah, there are some modifications you can do. And we do a roll, and this roll was a success. It did automatically the damage of the spell. There is a damage. We can apply the damage only automatically if I had a target active. Then I could, by right click on the chat, decrease the life points of the target. But what I can do is I could repeat a roll with a fate point in this, which also works for skill checks. Totally forgot to mention it. By right click on it, you can re-roll, repeat the check or part of the check. You can increase the quality level by 1 by spending a fate point, or you can repeat the damage roll. But it was good enough. I will let it this way. And here I can pay the astral energy, which the spell did cost automatically by clicking on it. And I will see she spent 8 astral energy, astral points, were decreased automatically by clicking on it. And we can see there is a little check, a little tick on it, that we paid the costs. The same goes for liturgies by blessed ones. Let's draw a blessed one, Gonzalo, blessed one of Baron, into our world, and here is the same. Works almost the same like religions. We can do minor undead ban, and we have the modifications of the chant, and by clicking on them we have a success. We can pay the costs and so on. They are decreased automatically. Works everything like the spells. Not really a check, but kind of. are the cantrips by magic users. Now the cantrips don't require a check because they automatically do function. But let's see if I have a cantrip I want to use. I open the cantrip and roll the effect. It will show here in the chat window, and the 1 astral point it costs automatically is reduced from Alakaya's astral energy. Same goes for the blessings of the blessed ones. There, if you want to do a drink blessing, you click on this little dice and it will show here in the chat window, and the 1 point is reduced automatically. And let's move on. Next I want to show you the chat commands for checks. For this we can type help into the chat and see what possibilities we have. Let's say the request role is pretty basic. We can do a queue, and there comes different. Let's say we can do the warfare. We click on it and we requested a warfare, and the players can click now on it and do a warfare check. I think I can modify this also if I click warfare -1, and there it is. Warfare is with a penalty of 1 preset. We can do a group check by GC, and let's say plant lore. Now every player can click on the plant lore, not only one time, more times, and they can collect QLs to success this group check. It is a bit of a cumulative check, group check in one. And yes, we can do the 3D20 check. If we don't have any attributes, because the GM doesn't have a character ready, he can check on geography, let's say this, and he can modify here the attributes. Basically all the attributes are 12, but he says yes, the intuition is a bit higher, his skill rating is higher, so he can roll this, and we have a nice skill check which builds in some attributes and skill rates as well. And last but not least, I want to show you the token hotbar, where we can see what checking we might do. Here in the GM hotbar we have the go with the mouse over this button, we get a vast variety of skills we can check on. Let's say request, it's a request button. I will do disguise request for the players. I click on it, no typing in the chat available. It is mostly everything you can do with the chat commands, only by clicking on it, and you don't have to type. By increasing or decreasing this value, I modify the requested check, as you can see, -2, or by right clicking on it, I request a group check. Let's say this guy's group check -2. Yes, and this is the token hotbar for the this is the menu, master menu hotbar. By requesting roles, the characters have their very own hotbar. By activating it, I get the skills from this character, the highest skills, the important skills he has, is down here. I can change the spell, or take another skill from its skill tree. And here are the most used, or the highest skills in it, and by clicking on it I can provoke a check. And yes, that is. I hope this little tutorial was a help for you. If you have something to add or any other comments, please use the commentary section below, and see you next time. Until then, let's VTT!